The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Danny Laurel. So first of all, a happy new year to all of our viewers here on One News Markets. This is the first trading day, at least in the Philippines, for 2023. Now, before I check in on our local bourse, just a quick peek on how the global equity space is doing. You can see here quite some reddish tones when we talk about the U.S. stock market, but at the same time, we did see U.S. futures opening in the green. They haven't opened markets in 2023 thus far. That's going to be happening later on. They're still on holiday here. Just to remind everyone that the S&P 500 was down by around 20% in 2022. So just seeing how that's going to be faring on the first trading day. All eyes are on the U.S. this afternoon. But take a look at Europe. That rallied on Monday. So that market was open at least on the second day of January. The Euro stocks was up by 1.7%. That's a good gauge of the blue chip sentiment over in Europe. And let's take a quick peek at how Asia is opening this morning. We did see Australian shares steady, but we do see quite some reddish bias here. You can see the Hang Seng down. That's over in Hong Kong as of 9:31, down by 1.5%. The markets all over in China as well in the red. You can see the FTSE Straits Times in Singapore down by 1.1% this morning. The Nikkei 225 still flattish today. Over in Brazil as well as South Korea, that was down. So a bit of uncertainty here on what will be going on around the world. And where are we at here when we take a look at our own local bars on the first trading day of 2023? Take a look at that. A bit on the upside here. We're at 65.68.10. We are about 30 minutes or less than maybe 20 minutes into trade. We can say that's a bit flattish. If you take a look at the one-year chart, our analysts had been mentioning that 2022 was the year of sideways trading. Will we be seeing a bit of optimism here? There are a lot of issues going on when we talk about how the global story will be affecting our local bourse. One main issue of concern is, of course, China and what's going on with the COVID issue over there. We did, of course, report earlier on the Transport Department discussing whether or not there will be some restrictions or testing that needs to happen for Chinese tourists to come in. Just a quick note on that, half of the passengers on some Chinese airlines entering Italy, particularly Milan, had tested positive for COVID virus just in the past couple of days. So Italy and the US have already imposed some restrictions, and let's see whether we will be following suit here in the Philippines. Now, just a quick peek into the first trading day of 2023 and which ones are our best performers. You can see Mega World leading the charge up by a hefty 5.5%. You've got Mondanisan and Aboitiz Power following suit. So a mixed bag here in terms of sectors. You've got property, you've got consumer, you've got energy, and you've got telcos, which is still, of course, the story of 2022, at least the latter end. Globe Telecom is up by 1.4%. On the downside, you can actually see the four worst performers happen to be linked to Ayala Group. And finally, just a quick peek on the peso. How are we doing in terms of opening the year? Stronger note. 2022 saw us swinging from 51, 53, all the way to 59. We were very worried it will be remaining above or breaking above the 60 to the greenback, and it does seem to be the case that it's strengthening from day to day, trading right now at 55.713 to the greenback.